I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975, was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Madam Clerk?
Oh, Mr. Mayor, Millville be paid and properly certified.
Thank you.
Second the motion.
We're in the work
Go
session.
on.
Work session.
Oh, the work session. That's what this says.
Now we don't do bills to commission meetings.
That's what that has.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
And
Work
this one.
session, he's right.
And this one.
Work
That's why I
sessions.
questioned it. That's why I questioned it. Like, well, okay, we'll pay the bills. Yeah, well, me.
Your work session.
Yeah, pay the bills.
All right, let's start all over again.
This is not a work session meeting. This is not it. Your work session meeting.
Yeah, that's what you gave me.
Okay,
Okay, we're good, Mayor. Go ahead.
Can I see that so I can cheat off of it? Thank you, sir.
I normally print it out.
There's more copies up here.
I can do it online.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, are there any review changes to the agenda?
Not to the work session, Mayor.
All right, we now open up for public comment on agenda items only. Anyone that would like to address an agenda item, please step to the mic, state your name, and address your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close the public comment on agenda items only. Old business, please.
There is no old business, Mayor.
All right, discussion of commissioners. Commissioner Cooper.
No report, ma'am.
Commissioner Pepitone.
No report, Mayor?
Commissioner Udalvis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're
Noting
welcome.
the work session agenda item titled Neighborhood Revitalization, I introduced Samantha Silvers, the City of Millville Supervising Planner, to provide a presentation of the goals of neighborhood revitalization, the potential benefits, potential partners, and shared resources, as well as project design and the city's commitment to this goal.
Say presentation, this is a little, okay.
Step to the mic, please.
I have to go this way.
There you go.
I'm okay with it. I'll stand it. Oh, no, yeah.
Give it to agenda. It says agenda session.
So I just wanted to informally discuss with the commissioners a prioritization of neighborhood revitalization. Kind of feel like a broken record. We talk about it a lot, but putting it at the forefront of our goals is what I wanted to talk about. Right now we have different sources of funding that are dedicated, and I forgot my map, dedicated to the area of Center City.
You want me to hold it?
So I was saying we have different funding sources that right now are dedicated to Center City. You'll see on that map just a boundary of what is one limited area of what we call Center City, which there's certain funding available in. So we think right now is a good time to focus on neighborhood revitalization in this area, formulate a good model that we can do in other areas in town, like 3rd Ward and South Millville. So some of the goals that I wanted to discuss were reversing the physical and economic decline of central neighborhoods, convert abandoned lots and housing into revenue-producing affordable homes. This is also something that would help with our COA Fair Share Affordable Housing Credits. That's something that we'll be addressing in the next 5 to 10 years with a plan of coming up with some affordable sales and rental housing. So we need to come up with a plan of redeveloping lots, new lots, rehabbing homes, what the management structure is going to be, how we're qualifying buyers, things like that. So totally separate part of the plan, but part of the entire vision. We still have, the previous commission has done a lot of work on demolishing vacant and abandoned structures, and will continue to do that where they strategically make sense. I'll talk a little more about a survey that was done to help identify those priorities. We'd like to return foreclosed properties into tax ratables, whether we do partnerships for rehabbing these homes, or whether it's just getting through the legal red tape of getting some of these structures back on the tax rolls. You know, as you've probably noticed, a lot of these properties each one is unique. You have to deal with each own problem. So it's kind of figuring out the way to handle these properties and making that plan and then expanding on it. Utilizing all the possible redevelopment tools to improve the properties. You'll see on the agenda later this evening is a contract with New Jersey Community Capital. That's one of the first steps that we were taking under this commission to review what we have on the ordinances for vacant and abandoned properties, code enforcement. Collectively, we have a lot of really good tools, and we've always been really up on the upcoming with the tools that we have on our ordinances. But since they've been on the books, I know there's been revisions to state statutes that may allow us to do even more with what we have. So one of the things that they're going to do is review the actual language and statute to make sure that we have all the tools we can possibly have on our books. That way, whenever we might be able to put them to use, they're already there. We might not use them, but if they're there, we want to be able to if it works in a situation. And they're also going to be doing revisiting just training with city staff who implement these ordinances. You know, we do it on a daily basis. Things change over time, administration changes, so I kind of just want to get back to the basics, make any case that we have for utilizing some of our vacant abandoned tools as defensible as possible. So when we do something, we just have to do it one time. It's thorough, it's complete. So that's what that contract is that you'll see later in the night. I'd like to target city resources into areas where additional funding can create a strong impact. Have city departments working in unison and sharing resources towards the same redevelopment goal. Recognize neighborhood revitalization is a long-term ongoing process requiring a long-term ongoing commitment. So that's why I'm addressing the commission as a whole tonight. It's not just one department, it's across many. And invest incrementally in infrastructure upgrades. So if there's upgrades to city streets that might complement our rehabilitation efforts, or if there's something that we can do with the parks. So as you can see, we're already across code enforcement, probably rentals, the Parks Department, engineering. It really covers all of the commissioners. Right now, the potential partners that we have available, that some come with funding, some come with a lot of great knowledgeable resources, networking, regional contacts, state contacts. We have the Holly City Development Corporation, Cumberland County Improvement Authority, Millville Urban Redevelopment Corporation, Millville Development Corporation, which basically deals with just downtown, Pascal Sykes Foundation, Millville Chamber of Commerce, Cumberland Empowerment Zone, Cumberland County College, especially with the new Arts College downtown, New Jersey Community Capital, and the Millville Housing Authority. I wanted to introduce Heather Santoro. Some of you may know her or worked with her as a former city employee and also as the director of the Holly City Development Corporation. So you just wanted to come up and talk about a couple projects that you have going on.
Hi, Commissioners. So a couple of things that Samantha mentioned. We are in the midst right now of a Wells Fargo planning grant. First, let me back up. Holly City Development Corporation, our footprint is the footprint that you see there. So most of the funding that resources that we have available to us are dedicated to the neighborhood that you see on the map in front of you. But one of the projects we're involved in right now is a planning grant through Wells Fargo. What this allows us to do is create a plan using neighborhood resident input as well as small businesses that are in the Center City neighborhood and the community as a whole to inform how residents view the neighborhood looking over the next 10 years. And then once this plan is complete, it serves as the footprint or the roadmap for implementation. When the plan is approved by the Wells Fargo Foundation, that then opens up our organization to be able to receive implementation money over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, which ranges between $100,000 and $150,000 each year that would be dedicated to that neighborhood for the projects that are included as part of the plan. The other funding source, which is a large funding source that we have, is funded through the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. It's our Neighborhood Revitalization Tax Credit Grant, and that focuses on housing, economic development, and community development projects, again, within that same Center City neighborhood. And we are eligible to apply for up to $985,000 each year while we have an active neighborhood plan. So we've applied for 4 different applications. We've been successful with 2 of those. We're in the process of embarking on our next neighborhood plan, which usually is announced in the September range and due in the October range, so the timing is really quick. But we could help facilitate some of the projects that Samantha mentioned and want to be partners with the city in housing and economic development. So. Oh, wait, one more thing. As part of, I just want to make this announcement. I don't know how many people watch this, but we are starting we have to go to door to door and do a survey in the Center City neighborhood, and we are starting that next week. So we'll be out there with our Play Street shirts on. We're friendly. Please answer our questions. It helps inform the plan. So that's it.
Nice job.
So just to follow up on that, we're attacking the problem from a couple different ways. We're looking at it as a government entity, coming from a municipal standpoint and what statutes we have on file, but we're also getting the input from the neighborhood to help drive some of the decisions that we're making and using our tools for. Some of the other funding in the area would be coming from not that it would be coming, but there's options available using the Cumberland Empowerment Zone, the CCIA, New Market Tax Credits, New Jersey Community Capital. Those are all types of loans or gap financing that we might be able to utilize for some of these projects. Our CDBG and home funds, we have a couple $100,000 in that to offset some of the projects. We still have our rolling housing rehab program for income eligible single family homeowners. So that's not just Center City, that's throughout the city. We collect property registration fees for vacant and abandoned properties. And pretty soon the state will be rolling out with some regulations on the Opportunity Zone program, which will be in the 301 Census Tract, which is along High Street up to the point at High and 2nd Street. So that'll be some economic development part to the projects. And then we also have interest right now from private investors. So putting our resources there to best draw the private investment is where I feel like we can really maximize our budget and the funding that we have in the area. Holly City Development Corporation just completed a parcel survey, and I believe I gave you all a copy of it in your mailboxes. I don't know if you remember seeing this.
Yes.
So this will be the initial basis that we use to look at the parcels in the area on the map. It's not as easy as it seems. Like, we've kind of overlaid property liens, we've overlaid foreclosure properties, vacant lots, code enforcement lots, problems with crime stats around the area. So kind of using this to hone in on where we should start or where certain funding should go. So you kind of have a little abridged version to review with that. Let me see here. I lost my paper. Okay, so some of the next steps are to align the city's departments to the common goal of neighborhood revitalization. That's a really hard word to say. I'm telling you. So code enforcement, public safety, infrastructure design and improvements, financial commitment, and for existing and future resources. We are working on updating the Center City redevelopment plan. That's in its infancy right now, but giving a little structure and regulation as to how we'd actually like these improvements to look, where we want them, giving developers the possibility to create a financial interest great enough for them that it draws interest in our projects, but also accomplishes the goals that we want to see on the end use and something that we have a market demand for. You know, something we don't want to just create housing that's going to sit there. We want it to be something that people are in the need for, various affordable housing prices, and a commitment to collaborate with nonprofits and agencies. And then I think the next step tonight you have on your agenda is adopting the contract for the New Jersey Community Capital Project. And then we'd like to do a press release to kind of roll out this idea to the community. Do you guys have any questions or any input?
I just want to make a comment. I'm
suggestions?
really excited about all the work that you've been doing. You know, kudos to Ashley and her department, but this is fantastic. It gives us something to actually look at and see how we're going to go about making progress. And I just give hats off to you guys. Great job, both of you.
Yeah, Heather has definitely been very busy at Holly City. They actually were the ones on the street doing the parcel survey with New Jersey Community Capital was
Nice work.
part of that survey process. So that's why I thought it would be a great idea to have them as the one that's going to review our ordinances and help our staff, because
Makes
they've
sense.
already been on the street. They've seen it. They know what we're working with. They've been really great. They've already started looking at the information that we have on tax reports, like our liens and different tax foreclosure properties, and they've already narrowed down some properties that they think might be great for us to start with. So
Excellent.
now it's kind of up to us to lay out what funding we have and where that funding is going to be best utilized. If it's rehabs, where private can come in, where grants can come in.
It's been an idea of this commission, I think, from the very beginning, to say the revitalization. Now it's concrete. We can
I know,
actually
it's-
move it.
I
kind of like
think what's happened is that we have a plan for Center City. We're just not going in there tearing down homes without a plan.
Right.
You know, and I can't say enough about one of the best things that we did early on as a commission was to hire you
Back.
as our plan.
Back.
Okay, you know.
Thanks. I appreciate the
I
opportunity. I
really
was excited to
appreciate,
come back and
but,
start these
it's,
projects.
You know,
Once I
we
got
lost you
that.
there for a while, but we know your talent, and I just want to let you know that you were high on our agenda to bring someone in instead of contracting it out, dealing with a professional contract where somebody's not even here.
Yeah.
You know, that we can always reach you in your office, along with Holly City Development Corporation. Of course, I think those who know me know why I'm so happy about working with the Holly City Development Corporation, the work that they have done over the years, not just now. But it's a partnership we have with nonprofits and our city, and we will turn around that Center City. I can't say enough about what the police department's doing in that area. I mean, it's our commitment was to put more police officers on, and it's paying dividends, believe me.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, if all you have to do is follow it around. And the work with the Holly City Development Corporation, your commitment within Center City, it takes time, but we heard the public loud and clear, you know, and you know, we're gonna do the things that we said we're going to try to accomplish here. So
Exactly.
again,
It's
thank
starting
you
to put
for
that on
accepting your
paper and-
job. You made life a little bit easier for some of us up here. Okay.
Thanks. You made
We have the
mine
right person.
harder. No.
Commissioner? I have a question. I want to thank you guys for the hard work that you're doing, and this was definitely part of our vision as we were running. It's great to see a plan. So as you said, rather than just tearing down and not knowing where to go, it is great to see a plan. And I think the citizens of Millville will be also happy to see that. There's something concrete that they can sink their teeth into, knowing what the future is going to be like in Millville. So I want to thank you for that. I just have some questions, though. One, in the plan, what have we looked at as far as seniors? Have we looked at anything specifically in the revitalization of that? Because that's an important issue as we move forward.
I can't say at this point that we have, but it can certainly be a component moving forward. Like I said, this is infancy stage of this, so that can definitely be a priority on the list. I'm trying to think. A good outlet would be the Wells Fargo plan, because, like I said, that's a community-driven process. So if there's a community need for seniors, then it's an interesting forum to kind of hash that out and see what works for them. You know, I could tell you what I would think would work, but it's more interesting when it comes from the public themselves to kind of guide you on what they need, what facilities we may be lacking, where we didn't know that we need upgrades or something like that.
It seems to be a trend where they want to bring seniors back into Center City. If
Yeah.
you can see that complex in Vineland, the new one that they bought, that they built there on Landis, a lot of
Yeah,
that
like
has
by State
homes and
Street.
businesses together, and I'm hoping that we can incorporate that in this plan as well. Just digressing for a moment, you had spoke about the survey. I'd be interested just to hear just a tad about what that's about and what some of the questions may be.
Have you developed
You
the
could-
questions yet, or
It-
you could grab that one
have
too?
you had that? Have you had that experience yet, being out there yet, or?
Well,
You can get to that microphone. Yeah, we got two of them going.
So to answer your question, yes and no. The questions are prescribed to us. So Wells Fargo has it's approximately 30 questions, and they range from how long have you lived in the neighborhood, are you a homeowner, are you do you rent your property, that ask questions about the condition of the neighborhood, why you choose to live here, what do you want to see in 10 years. So they're prescribed questions that we're not allowed to change. We will formally start surveying next week. So we haven't done it yet, but there was an organization that used to be in existence called A-Home who did this several years ago. They were a Wells Fargo recipient, and they had same list of questions, which I think have changed just a little over the course of the last several years, but it's a process that has been tested. Each recipient of the Wells Fargo planning grant funding, their neighborhoods all get asked the same question. So what's asked here is asked in Lancaster, is asked in the neighborhoods in Philadelphia, Camden, anywhere else that they receive planning grant funding. So, and we will share all of those results with the commission. We'd like the commission to be a part of the process. So one of the things I did not mention, we hired a planning consultant who actually will be coming to our play streets next week, our final play streets, and they will have community engagement activities where they will do different things that get the feedback from the youth that are there, the volunteers that are there, any parents or residents that show up, which usually our last day, there tend to be a lot more people that attend because we do a big barbecue. So all of that will be shared with everybody, but there's going to be community focus groups that happen in the fall. Right now, this is just one step. The parcel survey was a step. This resident engagement survey is the next step. There will be a survey that's done for the merchants downtown as well. So it's a process that most of which is prescribed by the foundation. There are certain milestones that we have to meet, but the community engagement piece is really going to, besides the survey, is going to really kick up in the fall with focus groups, and everybody from the commission and staff from City Hall would be invited to that.
Now,
Does that answer your question, though? 'Cause I'm
I-
not, okay.
Yeah.
I was listening to Commissioner Cooper's question, and I was thinking back to when the Wells Fargo Steering Committee had gone through the stages of actually completing the parcel survey. They had inspected a few elements, and that translated to the mapping. One of the areas was public safety. Could you also refresh the commission on some of the other mapping resources that they used to
Right.
inspect the Center City area?
So what happened was, actually, I personally and a couple of people from my staff, we went with one person from New Jersey Community Capital and conducted the parcel survey over a 2-day period, I think, in October. And again, there is a prescribed list of things that you have to do. So you have to just, it's basically a property survey. So you're looking to see, is it rental? You're matching that with the owner of the property at the point in time that you take the survey. You're taking a picture of each property so you can see the physical condition. So all of that is prescribed, and that's what's included in that parcel survey. We took it a step further and tried to map the crime data from the police department to see where the hot spots were, just so we were more informed when we submit a project application for our NRTC, where we should concentrate funding or where we should concentrate police efforts. So we took that added step and included it as part of the parcel survey, and that's the report that came from the New Jersey Community Capital. That was not prescribed from Wells Fargo.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yes. I don't want to take it over though, so you guys have.
Commissioner?
Okay. I just had just a couple more questions. So
Sure.
the projection that we're looking at here is what, 20 years, 10 years? What are they looking at more specifically?
So we are in the planning process, and the plan, a draft of the plan, will be we will get towards the end of this year. There will be a rough draft of the plan. The plan will hopefully be approved by next February, and the Wells Fargo Foundation has to approve that plan. The plan is for a 10-year period.
Okay. All right, so we have to wait for the approval, the final approval, before the funds are released.
Well, the funds for the planning part have been released to us. It's the funds for the implementation.
Yes.
So once we have an approved plan, we're eligible for implementation funding. In order to get the implementation funding, each year you have to submit an application that talks about the projects you want to implement that year that were part of the plan.
Great point.
I was just thinking, like, for an example, if they do the resident survey, one of the questions they ask are, do you feel safe at night? So when they map their crime data, maybe there's a hot spot, and then there's also, because they'll also map and analyze the resident survey for you. So they don't just give you the results, they give you percentages to make it easier to comprehend, like, what those numbers mean. So you might see a high frequency of people that feel unsafe at night in that crime spot. So then as a result of that, in the plan, maybe in your first year, you want to put street lighting in, and you're going to also fund some community policing efforts in that area. So that's kind of just like a rough example of the steps that go from the planning stage to the implementation phase. And you can use different funding to come up with actually implementing those different strategies that are driven from the reports and the surveys and mapping.
I was going to say, I wasn't aware you cannot actually utilize the funding for policing.
If you can or can't, would you say?
You can. Basically, is that what you said?
I don't know how the Wells Fargo implementation money goes.
It'll depend on the project. However, with NRTC funding, there is a public safety component that we included as part of that this year, which gives, we went to the police department. So Holly City Development as a whole, any project that we do, we have based on feedback that we've received from either the community and or our partners. So we partner with several organizations. We have over 40 organizations that we partner with throughout the city. Some of those are other nonprofits, some of those are private business, some of those are governmental agencies. So we utilize the feedback that we receive from those surveys, and we also have a family strengthening initiative that we run through Pascal Sykes funding, and we survey the families that we work with. We have right now, I think, just under 50 families that we're working with. So we use the feedback we receive from the surveys to help drive the projects that we choose to do. So for instance, an example would be the public safety component. Public safety, we know, has always been an issue in Center City neighborhood. So we've each year asked the police department, how can we partner? What can we do? What can we include as part of this funding that would benefit Center City neighborhood and help the police department? So this year, we applied last year, and that was one of the applications that wasn't funded. Our 2017 application wasn't funded, but our 2018 application was, and it included extra patrols in Center City neighborhood, and it also, which we've been working with the chief on for the last several months, and it also included some equipment that they needed, so additional bikes. I think there was a camera and a lens that they needed for surveillance, so we've been able to help in those ways.
Thank you so much.
So.
You know, like I think what Heather was indicating, people don't realize the impact and the work that the Holly City Development Corporation really provides in our community. You know,
Really?
the agencies that are under that umbrella. It's amazing when you're part of that. You see it, more than other people. But there's like over 40 agencies that we work with throughout this community, and without them, we couldn't be where we're at today. So I think we want to make sure people understand that, and that's the work of you and our staff that we have over there, and our board of directors. They're all volunteers. So we're looking
Nice
forward
job.
to making this happen. You know, it's a personal thing to some of us to make it happen.
Any other questions I can answer?
Commissioner Cooper, anything else?
Yes. So, I just want to pivot just
Sure.
a little. My
No
last
problem.
question. So, in terms of market demand, we're talking about private investors. What's the sense that you're feeling now? What's the consensus that you're getting from private investors trying to be a part of this revitalization?
So our organization has personally met with 3 different investors, and they're interested, but the problem within the neighborhood, the county as a whole, there's an issue of what it's going to take to fix the properties is not necessarily, and what you would get for selling the properties don't equal. So in order to make money, they have to be subsidized. So we have to find money for subsidy in order for it to work. So they're interested, but it's a matter of where does that subsidy come from? Is some of that NRTC funding? Is some of that community development block grant funding or home funding? Is some of that some other banks like TD Bank and Wells Fargo, they have gap financing occasionally, grants that they offer to help subsidize projects like that. It's also what does New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency offer right now. So there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle in order to make that work, because right now in order to bring some of that housing up to date and make it sellable to somebody who's interested in purchasing, it would have to be subsidized in some way.
Important question, Heather. Is our focus going to be home ownership or giving people the ability to change properties for greater rentals?
From our organization's standpoint, it's home ownership.
Thank you.
So it's home ownership. It's
Can we limit or can we push it more in that direction to say this is what we're looking for as opposed to investment of rental properties?
yes. Well, that is what we would push for. So I'll give you an example, just a quick one. We work with 50 some families right now. They are not. There are some of them that want to be homeowners. So we work with them on establishing what their goals are and then helping them work towards what their goals are. So we have probably 5 or 6 families who have a goal of home ownership. However, they're not in a position right now to do that. So for us, there may be a rent-to-own component that becomes part of this,
Oh, that's good.
but ultimately home ownership is the goal.
But you would hold the property during that?
Yes, we would hold the
That's-
property during
That's
that.
perfect. That's perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
You guys are really on your feet. Appreciate it.
Anything else?
Good.
You're good?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to thank Samantha Silvers for being here this evening to help present this, as well as Heather Santoro. And with that, progress.
Did
Nice
I
job,
got one more
Ash.
thing.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I'll leave it for the end, but this is why we have partners. Partners that have the same mindset
Mhm.
of what we have as a commission and what we have as a community to improve the city. And without these 2 young ladies and who they represent, the city and a private nonprofit
Yeah.
group from Millville that are so interested in the city. That's why this excites me so much that this commission got voted in, because I believe we're on the right path to do what's right for the city with no hidden agendas. So thank you, young ladies, and whatever we can do, as you know, Sam, we're here to support. And of course, we're always going to support Holly City because they have our back and we have their back. So thank you.
Yeah, it's great to work with the partners because everybody kind of has their own specialization and they're really strong at putting the financials together, putting a pro forma together, doing the housing development. They all have different backgrounds, so it brings a lot to the table what less people might not be able to bring.
One more thing, Heather, how many cities competed for the loan that we got from Wells Fargo? I know you mentioned a couple cities. 12. And
we were one of 2 that were awarded.
And we were one of 2 that were awarded. That's very important for us to know that, for the public to know that. That's how hard Holly City worked for the city of Millville. Thank you.
Commissioner Udallis, did you want me to speak at all about the redevelopment plan on the agenda? I didn't know when you wanted me to address
I think that would be helpful if you would be able to reinforce the timeline so that the commission can understand that.
Okay. On the agenda tonight, you'll see for first reading is the introduction of the airport redevelopment plan.
Right.
That has been in the works for about a month now. The commission hired a consultant to prepare a plan to address some regulations out at the airport. We've got, I almost don't want to say it out loud, but we've gotten a lot of good inquiries for economic development out at our industrial park at the airport. So this is helping to regulate what's out there to have the city have it developed how they'd like to see it developed. So this is on for first reading tonight. It'll be referred to the planning board for consistency with the master plan and any other recommendations they might have. You guys will get a report at the next meeting, and then you'll see it on second reading with the public hearing. You can review the report, accept changes, accept recommendations, or review the consistency with the master plan as recommended by the planning board, and then it would be adopted at that time.
So if I may, Commissioner, can you let the public and the commission and everyone that's here about how many businesses are we looking at right now that are interested in coming into the city as an economic position for the city?
I would say in that particular area, probably 5.
Solid companies.
Yeah, definitely solid. It's exciting right now. So that was one of the things I was excited to come back with and get involved more in economic development and the community development side of it.
I think
so we're kind of addressing it from both sides. We need the neighborhood revitalization to make the economic development projects more attractive as well.
I think the key in economic development, it's being done. It's one-stop shopping. We now have the professional people in-house and locally to help make this work. I think it's a tremendous asset. When you sit down and talk to businesses and industry wishing to come to this city, we understand that someone who's coming in has to have a lawyer, has to have an engineering, and all this money going out. And it's meeting after meeting after meeting. But what I think this administration's done, and thank you, it's one stop. We have all the players in the room, so we can give the answers right then and there and save the person who's interested in coming here doesn't have to keep coming back for more and more meetings because it's dollar signs every time a meeting's being held. So I think that's important, and we're going to be very aggressive. We have been aggressive, and I think some good things are going to come up very shortly about what's out there. We understand it. We just can't say it right now.
Yep, definitely.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks.
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks, guys.
Anything else?
That's it, Mr. Mayor. Progress.
Vice Mayor?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I think we have an add-on on Greenberg, who's the environmental attorney. We can add that on this evening.
Sure.
It's a professional contract, and it's an environmental study. We have to continue and put this through so we can get that done.
So can I make a motion to put that on, or somebody else? Or?
I can make a motion.
A motion or the consensus?
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
So, yeah. Okay. So,
So I would like for us to have a resolution awarding professional services contract to Frank Riesenberg of Flaster Greenberg as a city environmental attorney. And if I can add on to that, this gentleman has been with us for the last 4.5 years that I've been here, and he's very good.
Okay, good.
Second the motion?
Any comments?
Madam Clerk, is this included on our revised agenda at this time?
No, this is, it'll be added to the agenda. It hasn't been added.
My only concern was just with not seeing all of the details regarding that prior to adding on the item, as far as an amount or the actual.
I think it was drafted for $150,000.
150,000.
And 150,000, and Marcy did certified funds. It wasn't added because it was within the 24-hour period to add items to the agenda.
Any other questions, Commissioner?
That's it. Thank you.
So,
Roll call, please.
okay, Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
No.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Vice Mayor?
Progress, Mayor.
All right, great. This is up to me now. Well, I'll have, thank you again for being here. I mean, I think that it's amazing that we put the information out there for the people of Millville to listen and see it. And as you know, we're very excited for what's going to be happening in Center City. So thank you so much. With that, I'll move on. New business, please.
There is no new business, Mayor.
All right, we've reached public comment portion of our meeting. Anyone that would like to address this commission, please go to the podium, state your name, and address your concerns, and please limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close the public comment portion of this meeting. Madam Clerk, can we go into resolution number 1?
Sure. We have a resolution authorizing a closed session to discuss the following matters: 105 through 109 East Main Street under potential litigation, attorney-client privilege; lease agreement between the City of Millville and Second and Main Petroleum LLC under contract negotiations, attorney-client privilege; River Club at Millville LLC redevelopment agreement under contract negotiations and attorney-client privilege.
Mr. Mayor, move the adoption of this resolution.
Second motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, folks, we're going to move into our private meeting there. We'll be back, hopefully sooner than you think. Guess what?
Okay. You too.
Wait,
Sounds good.
gotcha, thank you.
All right.
All right, listen, before we get started, we got
Motion.
motion to adjourn our
Work
closed session.
work session.
Work session, I'm sorry.
So moved.
Cooper?
Second motion.
Any?
Yes.
What do I do with this?
She's just showing you that this is the amended copy. We amended it a
Oh,
couple
okay.
times, so that's just showing you that that was the amended version.
Jim, you have this? This is the amendment. Make sure you have it.
This is what I got in front of me, Mayor.
Okay. So you move. All right, this is what I got. You ready?
No, I don't have that. This is what I got.
We'll cheat off of this. It's an amended copy. I don't know. You guys have the amended copy of the meeting? Is it
Yes,
highlighted in yellow?
it is.
You got a copy of that?
I do.
Yeah, this
I don't have an amended copy.
highlighted.
I don't have an amended copy, so I'll have to wing it.
I'll give you. I want to make sure I take it over here, actually. All right, we're all set?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you.
You have an amended copy?
I have when I wrote all over. I got a lot of copies.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the City of Millville Commission meeting for August the 7th, 2018. The time is approximately 7:07 p.m. I call this meeting to order. Roll call.
Mayor Santiago.
Here.
Commissioner Pepitone.
Here.
Vice Mayor Parent.
Here.
Commissioner Udalvis.
Here.
Commissioner Cooper.
Here. We'll have the invocation delivered to us by Reverend Brian Wheaton of the Gospel Outbound, followed by the salute to the flag. Can we all stand, please?
Let's pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for this evening, Lord. We thank you for this meeting, for the public servants that are serving here tonight, Lord. We pray for your hand to move. Lord, give them wisdom and give them peace between themselves and give them the ability to lead this fine city, Lord. We just thank you for all the blessings you've given us in Millville. And Lord, we ask you to continue to move mightily in our midst, that this would be a great town, that you would be honored through it. We give you all the praise and glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Reverend Wheaton. This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975, was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Before we get started, we're going to go with this ceremonial matters. So we're going to have the officers sworn in, the chief up, and our clerk and commissioner of public safety. Family members, you can come up and take photos whenever you want, at any time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, sitting on this podium is a good thing because we're swearing in officers. We're getting more manpower on the street. I just want to say, thanks to these commissioners for doing this. We swore in 7. These are 2 who are already law enforcement, so they're not going to go to the academy. They have a 19-week program ahead of them in the field training program. But I'm just so proud to have these guys because what's going to happen with us is obviously it gives us room and some growth. And we're going to put some more proactive units out there. I have some law enforcement back supporting these guys. We have a big major operation going on in the city of Millville right now with a collaborative effort with the Sheriff's Department, the Organized Crime Bureau, and a lot of different agencies. So some of my officers couldn't come today. Also, tonight's National Night Out, so we have other officers deployed to that. But I will say these two guys, before here tonight, actually when this progress was going on, I got a lot of phone calls. Obviously, they're family of law enforcement. I didn't even know their names yet, but they came highly recommended. Their backgrounds came up spotless. They were already law enforcement officers in a different agency, so we're very happy to have them. They're going to make Millville shine, and I want to congratulate these guys today for helping us out in our city.
Again, I want to thank you guys that are out here supporting your fellow officers. It's great to see the support out there. This commission made a commitment to the city that we wanted to increase the police department. I'm grateful to my colleagues that allow us to afford the funds that are needed to do so. I'm ecstatic the fact that we found two individuals that don't have to go through the academy, because it takes quite a bit of time, and we're able to get them on the street. And I want to welcome them, thank them, and in advance. And I'm sure you're going to have a great time here to make our city safe. Thank you.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Robert Vitt,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of Millville Police Officer
of Millville Police Officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
I just want to say one more thing that I messed up the last time when we did these swearing-ins. I want to introduce our two officers that I didn't do. Rodney Yamasaki is right here. His father is a state trooper. He's sitting in the back. I'm sure he's very proud. And Robert Vitt. Dad, can you stand up, please? Oh, there he is. I'm sure he's also very proud of his son here today. But that's our two officers, and that's their names. Have a great night. Thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you again, guys, for coming out. Yep.
Got it.
Exodus. Mass Exodus now.
Madam Clerk, can we go right into review changes to the agenda?
Yes, Mayor. We have a couple. So the ordinance on first reading, item 2, there was a reduction of the bond ordinance from $550,000 to $450,000. The ordinance on first reading, item 4, was a typographical error, which was changed from assistant city clerk to assistant municipal clerk, which is in civil service. Resolutions 17 and 18, we received the purchasing agent's recommendation, which was added. And resolution item 24 was added to authorize a professional service contract with Rue Associates to prepare a DEP compliance certification. And a resolution was added during the work session appointing Franklin J. Riesenberger as our environmental counsel. And that's all.
Thank you. Bills?
Mr. Mayor, move the bills be paid after properly certified.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, approve and dispense with the reading of the following minutes for July 17, 2018, work session, closed session, regular meeting.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
I now open up public comment on agenda items only. Anyone that would like to make a comment on an agenda item, please step up to the podium, state your name and your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close the public comment on agenda items only. Old business, please.
There is no old business tonight, Mayor.
Petitions and letters.
Okay, we have an email received from Marie Baptiste Celestin regarding her resignation as a member of the Millville Zoning Board.
Mr. Mayor, I move to receive and file this correspondence.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 2 is correspondence received from New Jersey Motorsports Park regarding additional calendar events for August 2018.
Mr. Mayor, I move to receive and file this correspondence.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Reports of commissioners. We'll go with Department of Public Works, which is me. Change the order on me now, huh?
I was a change. So
I have
I'm
several
throwing you guys
reports
off.
here from the 3 departments that I oversee as a, that would be, we'll go first with the Water Department, and I have a report here from my superintendent. And the utility repairs for the month of July were 4 water main breaks, repaired 11 emergency service leaks, installed 1 new water service, and also pumped and treated 125 million gallons of water throughout the city. One big important thing that I need to announce is effective January 2019, the DEP is requiring all water systems in New Jersey to collect additional sampling for lead and copper. In prior years, Millville was only required to collect 30 samples every 3 years. Now, we are required to collect 60 samples every 6 months. This sample is required to be collected from the customer inside of their house. The utility is asking for additional customer participation to help us achieve this. If you would like to participate in this sampling pool, please contact the Water Utility Office at extension 7613 or email Steve Pierce this week at steve.pierce@millvillenj.gov. And Steve, thank you. This is the reason we're doing this, because of what happened in Michigan, or we're all familiar with what happened in Michigan. So now the United States is requiring all cities, states to do this. So we're jumping on this as fast as we can. And as Steve stated, we have to start in January. I've been recruiting people, so if you want to be involved, we'll have our water people come out to your house, show you how you have to collect this water sample. Once you do that, you call us, we take the sample, we record it, and then DEP is contacted. But it's something that we're required to do by statute and by the DEP.
Mayor, is that just public water? Or
Yes.
no wells?
No, at this point it's just public water.
Thank you.
So that's my Water Department report. I'd like for it to be received and filed.
Mr. Mayor, move to receive and file.
Second motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
My next report is from the Sewer Department. The plant is running as good and normal, and no major issues we had last month. The following jobs were completed. Class, I think I mentioned this a couple meetings ago. We're still continuing to have rags come through our system. It slows our system down, folks. I've seen towels come out of there, and I don't want to tell you other things that I've seen come out of the system. But it clogs our system up, and it slows the process down. So please, if you're listening to me out there, adhere to that, because it's a problem for us. Clean rags from main pump station, pump number 3. So we're taking rags out of that pump number 3. Calibrated online pH probes and aeration tanks. So we have to keep our pH level up. So then when we let the water out, we make sure we're up to standard. Inspected pumps. We have to check the oil, the drive shafts. We did that at our main plant pump station on Ireland Avenue and also on 2nd Street. We have to clean our plant grit chamber, and that's where a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about gathers also. If it comes through the system, we have the mechanism of a grit chamber that actually grabs everything. Then the men and women of our department have to remove it. We've cleaned both secondary clarifiers and cleared them, replaced the Penn Valley pump on the pump which had a bad filter on it. We video inspected 6th Street from G Street all the way to Broad Street. It's something that, we have to do every once in a while. That was okay. Cleared out the line on 9th Street from F Street to G Street, and jetted cleaned the 3rd Ward area of town. That was I know the weekend that we were out, Commissioner, when we were doing the cleanup, we heard a lot from the community there that a lot of our, what I want to say, help me out, our drainage.
Stormwater drains.
Yes, say it again, Commissioner.
Stormwater drains?
Stormwater drains were clogged, and we actually went out and cleaned them. And so we took it, reported back to the water department, and they went out and did what they had to do to make sure they were all clear, so that's good. And also we replaced the pump. We rebuilt the pump on pump number 1. So both the water and the sewer department are working very, very hard to continue to do great service for the city of Millville, and I'd like for that report to be received and filed.
Mr. Mayor, move be received and filed.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes. So my last one is streets and roads. So in the month of July, we've recovered 153 tires, received and recovered 5,304 bags of loose leaves, grass clippings that were collected. That totaled up to 234 tons of brush collected. And I know when you drive around town, you see these piles. Trust me, I call my guy Wayne Gressman every morning. So I live on Ferreton Road. I've had 5 or 6 people come to my door last month, knocking on my door, which I welcome, as long as they're nice. And they have been, and they've been complained. But luckily for us, we started doing the west side of Millville, and that's being picked up. So those of you that are out there, if your limbs, stumps, or whatever else, leaves have not been picked up, please be patient. We're getting there. They're working very hard to clean up the city, and they're doing a fantastic job. So just be patient with us. 94 catch basins were cleaned. They're vacuumed out. Road repair on Packer Drive was completed. Road repair on 602 East Street completed. Road repair on Mulberry Street between 11th and 12th Street completed. Now this is in addition to what we're doing, picking up all the brush. Sinkhole on High Street completed. Also sinkhole on 8th Street completed. Road repair 7th and East Street completed. Road repair on Buck Street completed between Pine and Sassafras. We've met with the state DEP auditors and gave them a tour of 15th Street, our facility and our compost facility. They were pleased with our operation and only advised us of just a couple issues that we need to abate to. We need to follow their instructions. Place fabric in all storm basins at 15th Street until drainage system was complete and full operation. We placed the fabric this week, week number 2. The drainage ponds at our compost facility, we did our removal there. It's perking well, so it's going to work for us, and our engineering department is working along with our public works department. As of this morning, our brush crew currently has worked on West Main Street, Route 49, and will be heading out to Carmel Road, then to Ferreton Road, and back to 5th Ward. They've been all over, as you know, Cedarville Road. We're trying to do the best we can with what we have and the equipment we have to clean up the city as best we can. So just don't lose hope. I believe our ordinance, Regina, you'll remind me if I'm wrong on this, is from January to October? Of brush pickup. Okay, so we have till October, so we're still doing what we're doing. We've cleared up some other different locations throughout the city, as you know, because you're seeing it. Let me see. We'll start over again within the next week or 2. We need to get together, him and I. We're going to be talking about our budget and other things that we could do to improve the collection of brush. Let's see, 2 pages here. Other than that, I think we're doing an outstanding job. As a director of these 3 departments, I can't be more happier and satisfied of the job that the men and women are doing for those 3 departments. they do well for us, and they'll continue to do well for us, but just be patient with us, please. So, Madam Clerk, can I have that received and filed, please?
Mr. Mayor, will be received and filed.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
That's the first time I had to go first, folks, and I'm glad because that was long. Commissioner Cooper.
Last time.
Is it Cooper?
No, actually.
Revenue
If we're
file.
following the
Ashley.
agenda.
Let's follow the agenda. Who is it?
Public Affairs.
Public Affairs is you.
Thank you,
Commissioner.
Mr. Mayor. Summarizing results from the August 2nd meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustments, one application in the form of one extension for a subdivision was reviewed and approved. Additionally, one application was reviewed requesting that the Zoning Board grant use variance approval and minor subdivision approval to allow for the development of a 55,532 square foot medical science building addition and a sports complex expansion as part of the Cumberland County Technical Education Center. In addition to minor subdivision approval and amended site plan approval, the request for use variance approval to allow for the development of the medical science building addition and a sports complex expansion in the I-2 interchange zoning district was approved. The next meeting of the Planning Board will take place on Monday, August 13th at 6:30 p.m., during which session the airport redevelopment plan that is listed as an ordinance on first reading on tonight's agenda will be reviewed in public session. This evening, the Department of Public Affairs also welcomes its second recipient of the Making a Difference Award through the Commission's Public Relations Initiative to recognize community programs and organizations improving the quality of life for the citizens of Millville. Recognized as a local program that has recently completed 5 years of serving the homeless population in the city of Millville, the Millville Code Blue Warming Center of the M25 initiative consists of many volunteers who assist in facilitating the warming center at Trinity Methodist Church, distribute clothing and supplies provided for the homeless during the winter season and throughout the year, and assist in providing meals and food for the visitors of the warming center. Accepting the Making a Difference recognition on behalf of Millville Code Blue, Mrs. Cindy Stanger-Cook will demonstrate to our community how this grassroots movement of churches and community responds to the needs of our homeless neighbors through funding by community contributions made to the M25 initiative. At this time, I invite Mrs. Cook to accept this recognition with the Millville Code Blue volunteers attending this evening.
That's right, everyone.
Nice.
Who's on this side? Pastor?
Well, Pastor.
Yes. Mrs. Pastor?
I don't know why you're sitting there. Come on, guy.
Thank you so much for your volunteers. This Making a Difference Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Millville Code Blue in grateful recognition of your dedicated service and valuable contributions to the City of Millville. We would like to commend you for your exceptional qualities of selflessness, dedication, and citizenship. On behalf of the Commission of the City of Millville, we would like to thank you for your efforts of ensuring the vitality of the community through all you do. And at this time, I'll invite Mrs. Cindy Stanger-Cook to present some of the aspects of the Millville Code Blue program.
Well, first of all, I'm not much of a public speaker, but I'm just going to say a couple things. First of all, I've got an amazing team. This is only a small portion of the team we have. Code Blue began with the death of a homeless gentleman in Bridgeton. It began in Millville the following year when it was noticed that our homeless people were sleeping in the doorways of the businesses on High Street in order to try to escape the elements. Every year we've come a little bit further in our quest to help our homeless population. And this team that you see assembled here has been doing an amazing job of it. This year alone in Cumberland County, we have gotten 50 homeless people off the streets and into homes. 50 in all of Cumberland County. My team has gotten 7 off the streets in Millville since Code Blue has ended. We have become a driving force in the legislation that now requires all counties in the state of New Jersey to have a Code Blue. It all began here in Cumberland County. We're the forerunners now leading the way. I'm proud to say that here in Millville, our team has become role models once again. We have led all of Cumberland County in the number that we have gotten off of the streets and into rehab. We had 40 nights this year and several days that we had to remain open. We had serious problems with our volunteers. We had illnesses, hospitalizations, knee replacement surgeries, a stroke, pipes breaking, deaths of family members, and an assortment of other just general things. But somehow, we were the only ones that managed to stay open every single night we were eligible to stay open. You're looking at part of the team that says not only in the winter, but we're going to help during the year, all year round. Because we discovered the only way we can help get them off the streets is by being present in their lives all year, not just when the weather's bad. So that's what we've done. We've gotten 11 people into rehab from the city of Millville, just our group. Okay? Rehab is not just for alcoholics and drug addicts, it's also for people with other issues. While rehab is free, it's not cheap. So we've got a fundraiser going every now and then in order to raise money. It costs us approximately $500 per person to get into rehab because we found the best successes when we send them out of state, out of their hometown. So we've gone ahead and we've done that, but we've also done more. We've helped them get jobs. In order to get jobs, we had to help them get identification. In order to get identification, we had to get them addresses. So we found out what organizations to send everybody to get the documentations. We got them to see therapists, some of them that needed it. Some of them are now getting better because they are on medication. So hopefully we'll see a marked improvement in that. Jobs have been fantastic. We've had a group of people that works with them filling out applications. I've arranged for a shower, mobile shower to come over, and they get showers twice a month over at the church. This isn't just for our homeless, it's also all the needy in the community. The thing is, you see the volunteers, but our Code Blue is more than our volunteers. It's every single citizen in Millville. We could not do this without the support of everybody that donated a pair of jeans, that donated a pair of boots, that brought food over to us, that said they cared too. And this community has really been awesome with that. I got to share this one story with you, just happened to me the other day. I went and I picked up a homeless guy as he got out of rehab. He had relapsed, and so he had called me to go back in, and he went back in. And he had a bad attitude when he went back in because he was mad at himself. Well, he didn't want to come back to Millville after he was done rehab. He said he couldn't come back because all of his friends used drugs. His own family members used drugs. He said he couldn't come back here. He made the arrangements himself to go to a sober living house in Egg Harbor. Okay, I took him there, so we had an hour drive. It was a real eye-opener for me on that hour drive. He told me how wonderful it felt to be clean. He told me that if it wasn't for this team of volunteers, he doesn't think he'd be alive today. This group made a difference in that man's life. So to me, it was worth it if we saved one. This team is the only thing that kept him going. They're the only ones that encouraged him and made him feel like he had hope. It's a complete game changer when you realize you've actually made that big of an impact on somebody. I want to say thank you very much for recognizing this organization. And I just want to say this is a community endeavor, and Millville might be a little town, but boy, it's got a big heart.
Thank you.
As the Commission continues to review nominations for upcoming meetings, I encourage all of our citizens to view and complete a nomination form for a program or organization making a positive difference in our city. Please access the nomination form on the city website, www.millvillenj.gov, using the tab titled Forms and the subcategory Public Relations. And with the conclusion of the report, Mr. Mayor, progress.
Thank you. You know, I have to make a comment about Cindy. I know all of you are here. You're all supporters of Cindy, but one person that has a big heart, who's tough as nails, who won't take an answer of no, is Cindy Cook. You know, what she hasn't told you, and she shared this with me, she took a young man out of state just for an interview, a job interview. Who does that? Who does that? Cindy Cook does. And that's why this program, that's why this program is growing in the right direction. So thank you so much, and we're proud of all of you for what you do, and thank you so much for supporting the City of Millville, this commission, and please keep doing what you're doing because it's just blossoming now. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Department of Parks and Public Property, Commissioner Cooper.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, first we're going to just talk about the projects that we're dealing with right now in the city. First, we've trimmed the entire Maurice River Trail. Currently working in Waltman Park and liming all the trees. We also cleaned and cut the parking area near the basketball courts near Waltman Park. That totally looks like a whole new different area over there. You should see the before and after pictures there, just amazing. We've been power washing all the different playgrounds and all the units throughout the city. And we also have some upcoming projects. So this week we're going to be working on Waltman Park, mulching the playgrounds. And we have some upcoming events, a lot of upcoming events. Get your pens out, get your recorders on. We hope to see you all at these upcoming events. It's going to be a whirlwind from here until the end of September. You ready, Vice Mayor?
I got it, buddy.
All right.
You're the man.
Okay. So we have 2 more play streets. Play streets will take place on Pine Street between 2nd and 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come on and join the fun. 2 more play streets, only 2. Fishing tournament coming up. We had a ball with this one a few weeks ago. Remember that, Mayor?
Yes.
Fishing tournament. So we have another fishing tournament coming up at Corson Park, Saturday, August 25th. Boys and girls, 5 years old to 15 years old. Registration will be at 9 to 10, and we'll fish from 10 to 12. Worms and lunch will be provided, but not in the lunch. So please come out. This is something. It's a fun event. We had people from other towns come.
Yes,
not just
open.
Millville.
Yes.
We had people from all around come. It's fun. It's a way to get the family out there doing something. That was my first time I had both of my daughters out there fishing at the same time. They've been bugging me ever since. I said, don't worry. It's coming up August 25th, and they're ready to go again. So that was a blast. Next, we have the Helping Hands Community Mural and Cleanup Project. This is round 2. So if you missed round 1, I see some faces in here that missed round 1. Come out to round 2. Round 2 is Saturday, September 8th. So we want to keep it going. It's from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. behind the library. So this is another cleanup to continue on with the great work that was already done. I don't know if you had a chance to walk down there behind the library and got a chance to see the mural down there. But come out again. We need to add more hands to the wall. All right, so grab a friend and let's get that wall filled up. So we're going to actually reach out to the schools, and hopefully we'll have more younger of the students there as well on this one. Mayor, you coming out again this week?
Absolutely. It's the
Commissioner
25th,
Hidalgo?
right? It's a Saturday.
Coming out?
Yes.
Saturday.
It's
What is it?
8th of September.
Oh, wait, the cleanup. Oh, okay.
Course and Park, the fishing, that's the
Okay.
25th.
The 8th.
But you can bring your fishing pole out to the
Yeah, I want
mural
to
cleaning if you
fish.
want. All right. So Commissioner Pepitone, we're going to need you there for this one too. All right.
He was there.
He
last
was
time.
there. He was there.
Showed up.
Yeah. And next, after that, so let me put a quarter in the meter right there for just a moment on that helping hands. I just want to say that to everyone again who came out, it gave me goosebumps to see the community working together like that. It was something just so special, just to see everyone coming together. No one cared about getting dirty. When I saw Commissioner Udalvis getting dirty, I said, you know what, I got to do this. I can't sit here and eat pizza while she's doing this. And you did a great job. So it was just something special. If you were here during that day and here, can you raise your hand? So we have 1, 2. Okay, we were here. So if you can come out again, you'll have that feeling that we had just to see our community come together. No arguing, no fussing, no fighting. Just clearing out the park, making it beautiful the way our city is supposed to look. Next, the annual baby show will be held Saturday, September 8th. 2 events in one day. Can you handle it? 2 events in one day, September 8th. So the baby show is going to start at 2. Helping Hands is from 9 to 12. There's special prizes if you do both parts. You do both events. All right? So the annual baby show will start at 2, and that will be at Corson Park. Next, the 9/11 ceremony. We do this annually. Tuesday, September 11th at 6:30 at Buck Park. And let me digress just a moment. The Downtown Car Show, which we all love that.
Yes.
That is August 11th from 8 to 4. The rain date is August 18th. Just a few more. Community Day, Saturday, September 15th, Buck Park, 12 to 3. There's going to be plenty of community booths, face painting, games, lunch. Come out. All the community, we want to see you out there. And last but not least, we have Paws in the Park, which is a pet show, which will be on Saturday, September 29th. Paws in the Park, September 29th. Registration is at 1. The show will start at 2. So, if that's not enough events for you, just give me a call and we'll try to schedule some more. Hopefully you can fit those all in your schedule. I just wanted to spend a quick moment just to read something that was sent to someone we all know and love. And this is a letter that was sent to me about Samantha Cruz, which I just really, it touched me, and I just wanted to read just a short excerpt, if you will. On Thursday, this letter came from Brian Powers from the Millville Millville Babe Ruth Baseball League. Brian Powers. So the letter reads, on Thursday, June 12th at around 10 p.m., we had a big electrical issue which resulted in the lights being shut down at Ewan Field. I emailed Samantha at 12:30 a.m. She was at the field before 6 a.m., called me by 6:30 a.m., and made sure the lights were back on by Friday. Samantha went above and beyond to help us with this situation. Other cities were there, and they were amazed by the reaction and the support from our city and its parks departments. This letter is probably 5 years overdue, but I wanted to acknowledge Samantha and her staff. Their support should not be overlooked, especially this year because Millville baseball was on its biggest stage since 1990s, and that had a lot to do with Samantha and her department. Please accept my thanks on behalf of the Millville Baseball League. We greatly appreciate all the help and support. Sincerely yours, Brian Powers. Now, that to me is just an example of who we are. That's who we are. We go above and beyond. Cindy Cook, you go above and beyond. We go above and beyond. Pastor Harris, we go above and beyond. This is just an example of who we are as a city and what we want for our cities, and all of the commissioners, including the mayor. This is what we want, and this is who we are, and you can see this even in letters just from people, and I'll send him the check in the mail just so he could make sure he cleans that up. But no, but seriously, this is just an example of who we are, and I just want to say, Sam, doing a great job out there. Keep it up, and to the department and to the city employees, keep it up. We love you. We support you.
There you go.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Department of Public Safety.
Yeah, real quick, I'd just like to reiterate, I'm excited that we have 2 more officers that are going to be able to go out a lot sooner than we had anticipated because they don't have to go through the process of the entire academy. It takes approximately a year to get them on the street. I'm grateful for the commission to continually support us moving in the direction of hiring more police officers to get to the point where we really can do what we need to do with the city. And also I have a report that needs to be received and filed with the fire department. So I make a motion that the fire department report be received and filed.
Second motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Eudalovas?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Anything else?
That's it. Right, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I was sitting here waiting.
I got to take care of this big guy.
Good job. Good job. It's always positive when you're adding police officers for our community, for the streets of Millville. And again, it's a pleasure seeing that they don't have to go to an academy for those months. I always use the term plug and play. And that's outstanding, so thank you.
And again, I just want to add, it's a true investment of this commission because it does cost money to do this, and we're in a tight budget. We're utilizing our funds as best we could to do the best that we can for our city. And police officer hiring is one of those priorities. And again, kudos to my commission, my fellow commissioners for being supportive of that. Thank you.
All right, Madam Clerk, ordinances.
No, you got to listen to me.
Okay. Thanks, Mayor. Do I have to?
I'll make it short. They forgot me already.
I forgot
You're
you
not-
again.
And, hey, appreciate it, Joe. One of the things that we're doing, since you did mention it, is our 2019 budget is we are working on that in the Revenue and Finance Department, believe it or not. And it's going to be it's a difficult budget that we're looking at. I'll be quite honest with everyone. A lot has happened, and we don't know exactly where we are right now, but we're going to do the best job we can in the Revenue and Finance Department to continue providing the funds for all the departments here in the city. I just think when you look at the 5 of us up here, and you see our commitment to this city, it's real. And even though at times we vote differently or have a difference of opinion, it doesn't mean we don't like each other. I think it's important that everybody speaks their own mind up here and votes that way. I've always made that perfectly clear. But make no mistakes, we are still a team. We care about the city. We're going to continue doing what we think are important in this city, in spite of some of the negative things that are being said out there. I keep telling this Board of Commissioners, stay focused, believe in what we're doing, because it's real out there. We see and hear the public, what they have to say, the voters of this city. They see the changes that are being made in a positive way. And that's an effort not only from the Board of Commissioners here, but our professional staff and all of our employees and all the volunteers that are out there. I had the honor of meeting some of the people that Commissioner Cooper has on his volunteer group. You know, they're enthused. You know, great ideas. They believe in this city. You know, you're seeing that. This evening we heard from two outstanding people, our city planner and also the executive director of the Howell City Development Corporation, of what's happening and going to happen in Center City. What a great meeting that was. I mean, it's just not hope, it's fact. You know, our commitment was to do what we think was important when we ran as commissioners, and we're meeting that challenge. The first challenge was putting more police officers on. We've done that, and we'll continue to do that. The other big thing was economic development and jobs. We know what's happening in that field. I know Commissioner Udalphis definitely knows what's happening. So a lot of good things are going to go on, and we're going to continue doing it. And this is still a strong team. I want everyone to know that. But we're only as good as you folks out there helping us. We understand that, and we appreciate what you folks are doing with your commitment to help better this city. So that's pretty much all I got to say, Mayor. But I did want to say something.
There you go. Good stuff.
I'm glad I didn't skip you. Well said. Madam Clerk, can we go to ordinances on second reading now?
Yes, Mayor. Item 1 is an ordinance amending the municipal code of the City of Millville, Chapter 33, Licensing and Permits, Article 18, Massage Business, subsections 33-140B and C, requiring proof of background investigation and fingerprinting from an authorized agency to accompany application, subsection 33-143B, requiring $10 application fee and $100 licensing fee, and subsection 33-143H, providing the applicant is responsible to find an authorized agency to fingerprint them and removing the responsibility of fingerprinting by the Millville Police Department.
Mr. Mayor, move the passage of this proposed ordinance on second and final reading.
Second the motion.
So this ordinance is on second reading. Anyone that would like to make a comment or has concerns regarding this municipal code change on licensing and permits, please step up to the mic. State your concern, state your name, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close on ordinance number 1. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalphis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 2 is an ordinance amending the requirements for Chapter 30, Land Use and Redevelopment Regulations, Article 21, Planned Commercial Development, subsection 30-247.9B, to remove the requirement of reporting promoters of events to the city clerk at the New Jersey Motorsports Park.
Public hearing.
Mr. Mayor, move past this proposed ordinance, second and final reading.
Second motion.
Any comments? Okay. Once again, this is a public hearing. Anyone that would like to address this ordinance on second reading concerning the New Jersey Motorsports Park, please step up to the mic, state your name, your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close the public portion part on item number 2. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalphis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 3 is an ordinance amending Municipal Code, Chapter 39, Article 10, Schedule 21, Parking Reserved for Handicapped Persons to add 906 North 7th Street. Eileen Heddich.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move for the adoption of this proposed ordinance for second and final reading.
Second motion.
Any comments? Once again, this ordinance is on second reading, item number 3, in reference to a handicap parking on North 7th Street. Anyone that has any concerns or would like to speak on this matter, please step up to the mic, state your name and your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close item number 3.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalphis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 4 is an ordinance amending Municipal Code, Chapter 52, Article 13, Towing and Storage Services, subsection 52-56 on insurance.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move for the adoption of this proposed ordinance for second and final reading.
Second motion.
Once again, item number 4 is up for second reading on an ordinance regarding a municipal code on towing and storage. If you have any concerns and you'd like to step up to the mic, please Give us your name and your concerns and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close item number 4. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinances on first reading.
Ordinance number 1, ordinance adopting the redevelopment plan for the airport redevelopment area prepared by CME Associates dated June 2018.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this ordinance on first reading with final consideration given on August 21st, 2018, after due publication as provided for by law.
Second motion.
Any comments?
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to reiterate that on Monday, August 13th, at our planning board, they will be in public session examining, reviewing the plan, and providing their feedback for the commission before the August 21st meeting.
Very good. Anyone else? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2 is a bond ordinance authorizing various capital improvements and acquisitions appropriating $450,000 to pay the cost thereof, authorizing the issuance of $420,000 of bonds to finance the appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of bonds.
Mr. Mayor, move for the passage of this proposed ordinance on first reading with final consideration to be given on August 21st, 2018, after due publication provided for by law.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3 is an ordinance approving and authorizing an application to the Cumberland County Roadway Department for the Millville Midget Football League to hold a coin drop on September 15th, 2018 and September 16th, 2018 at the intersections of Buckshootum and Cedarville Roads.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this ordinance on first reading with final consideration on August 21st after due publication as provided for by law.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 4 is an ordinance amending the salary ordinance to amend an existing title's maximum compensation for the following: Assistant Municipal Clerk with a maximum of $75,000.
Mr. Mayor, move the passage of this proposed ordinance on first reading with final consideration to be given on August 21st, 2018, after due publication provided for by law.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolutions, please.
Okay. Item 1 is a resolution authorizing a corrective amendment to the contract with NAI Mertz.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2 is a resolution authorizing the award of a professional service contract through the non-fair and open process with the New Jersey Community Capital for services to update Chapter 11 of the Municipal Code of the City of Millville and for implementation services with a total aggregate not to exceed $10,000.
Mr. Mayor, with that, I have certification of funds from our Chief Financial Officer, Marcella Shepard, and I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3 is a resolution authorizing shared services agreement between the City of Millville, City of Bridgeton, City of Vineland, and County of Cumberland for submission of joint application by the City of Vineland, the lead entity, for Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant, as funds have been made available in the amount of $83,767 and distributed as follows. The City of Millville is receiving $19,778.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4 is a resolution authorizing special assessments be issued on various properties for board and secure services performed per Chapter 11, Article 1, subsection 11-6 of the Municipal Code.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5 is a resolution approving military leave of absence and payment of pay differential due to a call-up of active military duty in the Air Force for Brian Day for the period covering August 1st, 2018 to September 30th, 2018.
Mr. Mayor, move the adoption of this resolution.
Second motion.
Any comments? I have a comment. Thank you to Brian for serving this country. Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 6 is a resolution supporting the bridge superstructure replacement of Route 55 and Route 47 project.
Mr. Mayor, move the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 7 is a resolution authorizing special assessment of municipal liens for certain properties due to expenses incurred by the City of Millville relating to cut and clean plus administrative fees in accordance with Chapter 11, Article 6 of the Municipal Code.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion?
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 8 is a resolution approving military leave of absence and payment of pay differential due to a call of active military duty in the Army for Nicholas Sammartino for the period covering August 14th, 2018 to March 20th, 2019.
Mr. Mayor, move the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 9 is a resolution authorizing First Amendment of professional services contract with Grace Marmero and Associates adopted by Resolution Number 20-2018 on January 2nd, 2018 to act as special counsel for Labor Council for the purpose of increasing amount of contract from $100,000 to $125,000.
And with that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification of availability of funds from Marcy Shepard in the amount of $125,000 and move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments?
Mr. Mayor, I would ask that the Commission consider to appoint or to empower our City Administrator, Regina Burke, and our City Clerk, Jeannie Hitchner, to examine any bills in regard to itemization for consistency and adherence to the specifications of the contracts, as I know that they have been viewing them previously. I would also reiterate that in order for these personnel to safeguard procedures for reviewing legal bills, all commissioners would be required to provide support to the City Administrator and City Clerk and maintain regular communication with both officials to remain updated of their findings. Without having established the two items cited, I surmise that the amendments proposed in these resolutions to the total amounts of the contracts will not cover expenses through the end of the calendar year. And that is my comment, Mr. Mayor.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
No.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Item 11?
Yep, I'm coming.
That was,
Item 10.
10?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, this is item 11
Oh.
coming, right?
no, we're on 10.
No, on
10? Okay. My bad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Resolution authorizing First Amendment of professional services contract with Grace Marmero and Associates adopted by Resolution 62-2018 on February 6, 2018 to act as special counsel for Tax Appeal Services Council for the purpose of increasing amount of contract from $10,000 to $20,000.
And with that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification of availability of funds from Marcy Shepard, CFO, in the amount of $20,000. Move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
No.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 11 is a resolution authorizing First Amendment of professional services contract with Pannoni Associates Incorporated, adopted by Resolution Number 28-2018 on January 2, 2018, to act as engineer for special projects for the purpose of increasing amount of contract from $80,000 to $120,000.
And with that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification of availability of funds from Marcy Shepard, Chief Financial Officer, in the amount of $120,000, and move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments?
Considering the utilization of the services for the Pannoni budget to this point in the year, I would recommend that the Commission consider any future expenditures through the scope of a special project, if necessary, as they become available, rather than to amend the amount of the original contract. That's my only comment, Mr. Mayor.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
No.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 12 is a resolution authorizing First Amendment, a professional services contract with Schroeder Law Group adopted by Resolution 6-2018 on January 2nd, 2018, to act as city solicitor for the purpose of increasing amount of contract from $162,000 to $202,000.
And with that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification of availability of funds from Marcy Shepard in the amount of $202,000. Move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
No.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 13 is a resolution authorizing the tax collector to enter into an installment plan pursuant to NJSA 54:5-19 with the property owner of Block 438, Lot 11, known as 109 North 10th Street, to pay water sewer back billing in the amount of $2,130 in 48 equal installments of $44.37 each, beginning September 1st, 2018, with the last installment by August 1st, 2022.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 14 is a resolution authorizing adjustments in the tax and utility records.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 15 is a resolution authorizing water sewer terminations on August 20th, 2018 due to noncompliance of the utility ordinance pursuant to Chapter 56, Sewer and Water, Article 2, Sewer Use Regulations, subsection 56-18, Enforcement Procedures of the Municipal Code.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 16 is a resolution authorizing senior citizen and disabled deductions be added back to the tax records due to an audit conducted by the state of New Jersey showing recipients' failures to indicate their income exceeded the statutory limit for the 2014 and 2015.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 17 is a resolution authorizing contracts for a Millville Public Library roof repair and maintenance project to lowest bidder DDS Services LLC for their bid in the amount of $65,770. As submitted bid is in compliance with the New Jersey Public Contracts Law, which attached engineer's recommendation and purchasing agent recommendation.
With that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification of funds from our Chief Financial Officer, Marcy Shepard, in the amount of $65,770, and I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 18 is a resolution authorizing contracts for Route 49 Main Street Water Main Replacement Project to lowest bidder Pioneer Pipe Contractors Incorporated for their bid amount of $596,557. As submitted bid is in compliance with the New Jersey Public Contracts Law with attached engineer's recommendation and purchasing agent's recommendation.
With that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification of availability of funds from Marcy Shepard, Chief Financial Officer, in the amount of $596,557. Move the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 19 is a resolution rescinding resolution number 359-2017 and 91-2018 regarding redevelopment agreement with River Club at Millville LLC due to redeveloper's failure to meet the contractual terms of the redevelopment agreement.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 20 is a resolution authorizing award of professional services contract to GPM Associates Incorporated pursuant to the non-fair and open process for services in connection with lead and copper sampling for the City of Millville water system in an amount not to exceed $5,000.
With that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification of availability of funds from Marcy Shepard, CFO, in the amount of $5,000, and move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 21 is a resolution authorizing professional service contracts with John W. Kraus, LLC, awarded under a non-fair and open process to provide assistance to the Chief Financial Officer and an amount not to exceed $8,200 for the period covering July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019.
And with that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification available of funds from Marcel Shepard, Chief Financial Officer, in the amount of $8,200. I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 22 is a resolution authorizing award of bid as per purchasing agent's recommendation to Q's Incorporated, Rio Vista Avenue, Orlando, Florida, for the purchase of a sewer utility multi-conductor CCTV trailer-mounted inspection system in the amount of $117,390.
And with that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification available of funds from Marcel Shepard, CFO, in the amount of $117,390. Move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 23, resolution authorizing award of bid as per purchasing agent's recommendation to Deerfield Electric, 203 Kenyon Avenue, Millville, to provide electrical and maintenance services for the sewer and water utility and public properties in the amount of $37,840.75.
And with that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification available of funds from Marcel Shepard, CFO, in the amount of $37,840.75. I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 24 is a resolution authorizing professional service contract with Rue Associates Incorporated to prepare the 2017 Combined Annual Compliance Certification and 6-month deviation report in an amount not to exceed $3,500.
And with that, Mr. Mayor, I have a certification available of funds from Marcel Shepard, CFO, in the amount of $3,500. I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, the last item was added on, item 25, resolution appointing Franklin Jane Riesenberger of the firm of Blaster Greenberg as environmental counsel.
Mr. Mayor, with the adoption of this resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Okay, Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
No.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you. Anything else? New
No.
business, please.
New business.
While we're rolling.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't drink.
Okay, I just need a motion to authorize the following special events on public lands application and social affair permit for the 28th Downtown Car Show, the free kayak and fishing sponsored by Heroes on the Water, South Jersey, and also the Millville Moose Lodge is having a luau.
Mr. Mayor, I move for this motion.
Second the motion?
Any comments?
Yeah, is there a date for the free kayaking yet, Bruce? Do you know?
Doesn't
No.
say here.
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Sam has that
Remember we met with those
information.
guys, pretty cool group.
Are you interested? We'll get the date for you.
So you know
I'll
I
get
have a
that date.
kayak, my friend. Yes, I might be.
I like kayaking. Yeah, I do. It's fun. All right. Any other comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Pepitone?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Parent?
Yes.
Commissioner Udalvis?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
So you know kayaking down the river is very nice.
I can imagine.
Very, very nice. All right, we've now reached the public comment portion of our meeting. Anyone that would like to address this commission, please go to the podium, state your name, and address your concerns. And please limit your comments to 5 minutes, please.
Hi, everyone. Pastor Steve and my wife Anna Marie. She's finally here with me after being out a while. Couple quick things. The first thing I want to say is thank you, Mayor, and thank you for the commissioners involved that helped us out on on our street with the water break that we had, and that was teamwork.
Thank you.
So, well, thank you, because that could have been a lot worse. So my neighbor sees it, sees the water bubbling, shows it to me. I alert you guys. It was instant. It was done. So thank you. That saved a lot. 4 or 5 years ago, when we started Code Blue along with Reverend Ennis and Renee Breck, we've been through a lot. We've been through a long journey with that program. But it came to a point, I guess it was last year, maybe a year before, where God was speaking to me and saying, you have a lot to do. You can't do it all. And I shouldn't do it all. We shouldn't do it all. We should do it together. So I was praying about it, and Cindy just kept coming to my mind. And I am so proud of her. And she has taken the program to a whole new level. And we work together, even though we're not directly involved anymore, but our church is still supporting it and so forth. But I just want to say, that I had to hold back a tear for a moment, because I remember where you started. And I just want to say thanks. So a couple quick things. Thank you, Commissioner Cooper, for mentioning the car show. So I was going to obviously say that. That was one of them, so you took one off my list. And because my wife has her reader glasses, she's probably going to say more than I am, which is a good thing.
They're not with me.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
I can see it.
The first thing we have here, I was mentioning to one or two of you, is August 23rd. It's a Thursday night, 6 to 8. This is a big deal. This is it's sponsored by the county, Jennifer Webb McCrae. It's called Recovery Restoration Resources. Our church, actually Reverend Murky, because he owns the physical building, we are sponsoring or hosting this event. And this is basically for what, prevention?
Yeah, it's going to be prevention, treatment, and recovery will be the 3 aspects that'll be there.
So the Southwest Council, the what is it, Cumberland County
Cumberland Cares
Department,
for You.
Department of Human Services, and of course us.
Mm-hmm.
But we know, and as we've been talking about, we have a huge, huge drug problem. And just one at a time, one step at a time, you're going to be hearing us talk more and more about giving people avenues to get help. Because, I agree with you, but I think there's a bigger picture when we're looking at not just taking people out of state and so forth. There's a lot of people that need help, and taking people out of state all the time is not an easy thing, okay? So that's one thing. So you actually have to register for that. I've put it out there on Facebook a few times, but I'll do it again. I'll share it with you guys in email as well, but you do have to register for it. It is free. So there's going to be all kinds of different vendors that are going to be lined up in the sanctuary, and there's going to be periodic speakers every few minutes. They're going to put somebody up there. But Jennifer Webb McCrae has been the force behind this. Okay. So another thing is, from the chamber perspective, we have our luncheon on September 12th, our normal Wednesday luncheon at the Motorsports Park. But this is a big deal as well, because we are honoring celebrating 100 of Millville's brightest stars, it says. And a few of you... Stars, yes. A few of you on the list have, in recent years, been honored with the award of Outstanding Citizen. You get a free lunch that day. But we're asking that everyone come. It doesn't matter if you're a member of the chamber or not. But what we wanted to do is pay homage to many people who are, kind of like under the radar screen, and they're doing all kinds of things. And, that's the whole idea behind it. Some people we've dug back and they're no longer with us in life, but we have many people. So I'm going to be reaching out to all of you privately. A few of you that have already been on it, and then just, invites. But there's a list of 100 people, and they've tasked me to, how many people do you know, Steve? So anyway, I'm going to be reaching out to a lot. It's going to be a big deal, though. So that's that. And then I have a question for Vice Mayor Parent. So it's bothering me, and I don't know why, but I have to ask the question. The Country Inn, what's going on over there? I see all these cars and stuff going on, and I'm like, all right, I know that they were talking about doing some kind of senior citizen home or whatever, but I don't know. It's like, I got to ask them. So, not to put you on the spot publicly, but Do you have any information?
I think you're going to get more.
I'm not running a business out of the country yet.
Yeah.
I think that perfectly clear.
I think you're going to have more
That
of an
project
answer.
is still pending. There's a project still pending.
Okay. Okay.
I think next month you're going to have more of an answer.
Okay. Because is the restaurant tied to that as well?
No.
That's something
My
separate.
understanding it wasn't. I think it was separate.
Okay.
My understanding. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Pastor, you know.
Okay.
We should know more by the end of next month.
Okay. Okay. And I think that was about it. Yeah, that's it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, all. Natalie Tyson. I'll be representing Dream Builders Empowerment Network today. I would like to say to the mayor and all of the city commission, thank you again for your commitment and your dedication for what you do. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be involved in community events as well. You know, I know you have families and you have a lot going on, but you still take the time. It means a lot, and it really does show that you care. Thank you. And to all the people who have dedicated themselves to make such a significant difference in our community by giving of your time sacrificially to help with the Code Blue, you know, we applaud you and pray your strength, and also that more people get involved in taking care of it. It's one thing to see a need, you know, but seeing a need is not enough. It's when you act, and thank you for acting. We certainly appreciate it. It all contributes to make Millville a much better place. To my commitment to share a thought every time I come up here, I can't get away from thoughts. Thoughts. Everything begins with a thought. When we entertain the thought, it moves down into our hearts. Okay? And out of the abundance of the heart, the tongue speaks. So when we speak, we have to be attentive to the words that come from our mouths, because it tells us the condition of our heart. If we speak negative things, it's because we've allowed what has settled in our hearts to be negative. If we speak positive, it's because we've been entertaining the positive thoughts. I want to encourage each and every one of us to be committed, especially when we think about our city, because that's why we're here, that we commit to positive thoughts regarding the city. We cannot look at the negative stuff or the bad effects. If we dwell on it, we perpetuate it. But if we think of the counterproductive part of that, like, for instance, if it's negative and we say replace it with what we want, if we all commit to doing that, we help take Millville to a better place in leaps and bounds. So, again, you know, thoughts create realities. Okay, that's my thought. At this time, my only other thing I'm going to talk about is our first annual South Jersey Multicultural Extravaganza. And I'm excited, I'm sorry, right? You know, this is being promoted to spread the spirit of love, harmony, and community. I was challenged earlier as to why I wanted to have this, or why we wanted to have this. And my answer is we cannot have too many occasions of spreading love, harmony, and community, because this is the community we want. So I invite all of you, if you haven't gotten a flyer yet, okay, we have some here. It's on August 25th and 26th, beginning at 2 p.m. until 9 p.m. And it's going to be family-friendly fun. We're going to have live entertainment, activities for young adults, for kids, It's going to be a cultural experience. You know, all the cultures, a lot of the cultures have their own events, their festivals separately, but we want to just bring it all on one platform. Let us learn to appreciate each other. When we learn to appreciate each other and our cultures, we get along better. You know, and the more we get together, the more we get along, the happier we can be. We all agreed on that? Yes, I remember that from when I was small. The more we are together, the happier we will be. All right, okay. Okay, so please, we're asking still for volunteers. There's plenty of work involved, you know, in planning and getting this event off the ground. We're still looking for sponsors. So if you know anybody who is likely, who can help sponsor the event, it's kind of costly. So, you know, we've been working on raising the monies needed to sponsor, or if you just want to give a donation, that's great too. We still have room for vendors. Both type of vendors, whether you have just a business or you're a food vendor, we still inviting and we still have room for that. So please also make sure that you pass the word around. It's okay to put it on Facebook, but I think it works better if we promote it, you know, word of mouth, you know, encourage everybody to be a part of it.
I just have the cost to vendors, that's all.
Huh?
The cost to vendors if they're interested.
The cost?
To vendors to be there.
Okay, it depends on, we do have it, we do have, actually, I should have said, if you can please go on sjmulticultural.com, all the information is there. We do have a website, it's up and running. For a basic position, a table or tent area, it's $100 for both days. If you're only going to be able to do one day, it's going to be $60. Of course, for the bigger locations, for food trucks and stuff, it's a bit more. And as a matter of fact, we've had calls from a restaurant, a Latino restaurant from Malta, and I was flattered. I'm like, yes, you know, but, you know, of course, we don't want the people from out of town to come and take the positions when our local people are also here. I mean, we're not refusing anybody right now, but I'm saying, okay, so my time is up, and please put it on your calendar to be here at the Cumberland County Fairground on August 25th and 26th. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie.
I wish you'd get a little more excited, Natalie.
Yeah.
It's too calm. It's too calm.
Awesome.
Joe Sutherland.
Joe.
51 Dorset Avenue. I'm here as the coordinator of the Millville Municipal Alliance Committee. And you know, our ball teams have finished up for the year. We're getting ready to start our new programs in the schools. And we'd like to say how appreciative we are that we were invited to be a part of Play Streets. Wow. And we've handed out a couple $1,000s worth of prevention items.
Good.
We've the first day there we made 700 snow cones. Wow. The second day we was there it was 600 snow cones. The third day from 10 to 12:30 we gave out 500 snow cones and ran out of ice because we couldn't get no more anywhere. And we're looking forward to being invited back next year. Good. And yeah, any of you that stopped out, you know, you've seen the kids out there. Yeah, the kids love it. And you know, that's all that we're about. You know, making things better for our kids. And we've also had the good fortune of having people that have asked if they could borrow our snow cone machine for activities that they're doing with the kids. So I mean, I've got 3 groups now that are borrowing the snow cone to put on events for their kids, and you know, I think that's a great thing. And I'm hoping they do the same thing we did. We donated all the snow cones, and that's pretty much where we are right now. I want to, again, as I always do, thank you for all the support that you give us, because without your support, we couldn't do this. I remember back in '92 when we brought this before the commission that was here, and Commissioner Parent was mayor, and from then on, you have always supported us, and and then through supporting us, I hope you realize that that's supporting our youth, and we all appreciate it. And I appreciate the fact that you've allowed me to serve as the coordinator for the last 23 years. Thank you.
Good job, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Gloria Medina. I have a shop on High Street, Phoenix Fire Tears Candles and Crafts. And I don't have a question today because I'm still following up with a couple of the information that you guys gave me at the last meeting after completing like a huge project where I brought up a whole new product line. So I still am following up with some of the information that you guys gave me, but I wanted to thank you just because some of you might not have heard from me yet. And I wanted to give my congratulations to the Code Blue group because my nieces and a few of my sons are in the violent Code Blue, so I know how much they work and how important that is. So I wanted to give my congratulations real quick, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? I close the public comment portion of this meeting. Comments of commissioners. Commissioner Cooper.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Welcome.
Just to surmise a few things, just want to say that I'm really excited about having more policemen on the street. I think what we're seeing in the community, we're seeing changes from our police department and even how they interact with our community. I see a lot of positive things going on there. I've actually seen some funny videos, and it looks like the police department did a dance challenge the other day. It's different. It's different things going on in the city. So I was happy to see that, and these new officers that can go right on the street, as the mayor says, plug and play. That'll give us even more presence out there. And a lot of people are commenting, making positive comments out there on what's going on in our streets. I want to say thank you to the vice mayor who actually attended our last RVC meeting. It was good to have, like you say, everyone in the room. So as we come up with all these ideas, it was good to have the vice mayor in there to be able to say, here's the man who has the purse strings for the money. So it was good to have him there and have his input. He had a lot of good ideas. Thank you for coming out for that. And again, I want to say thank you to Commissioner Udalvis for that presentation from Heather Santoro and Sam with the city revitalization project. I think that's important that our citizens know what's really going on and what our vision is for the future. And I think that we'll love to see that press release that comes out from that. So I'd like to thank you for having them present that. I look forward to working with Commissioner Pepitone on the Neighborhood Watch program that I understand it hasn't been in Millville for over 2 decades. Vice Mayor, am I correct on that?
That's right.
Yeah, so we actually want to revitalize that and get that into the neighborhoods. And if you're interested in the Neighborhood Watch program, please reach out to Commissioner Pepitone about that. I'm sure we're going to have a meeting on that soon. Okay. I look forward to working with you on that. Mayor, I'm glad you pointed out the issues with the water. If you don't know the story from Flint, Michigan, just Google it and you'll get plenty of information. And I'm glad that we're doing our due diligence to make sure that we're not victim to that, because it can happen easily. So I applaud your Mr. Mayor, and it seems like we're doing more testing, but guess what? I'd rather have that than wake up tomorrow morning and we have to get water supply from somewhere else. That could be problematic. Ms. Nally, I want to thank you again for giving us our thoughts, teaching us some of the things and that we should be thinking about. And when I heard you talk about thoughts, it made me think about what are our thoughts? What's our realities? Those thoughts create our realities. What reality do we want for our city? So that's something you think about. Like, again, people tease me during the election because I said we're just the bus drivers, right? We're just the bus drivers. You guys tell us what you want. What's your reality? And I think we're trying to make that positive reality come true here in Millville. Cindy, again, It's always a pleasure seeing you, and I look forward to working with you with Code Blue and some of those other homeless initiatives that we're going to partake on together. And thank you to all you guys who work together. Do an outstanding job. It reminds me of a quote from Sam Walton, and I'm sure we all know who Sam Walton is. So they asked Sam, how did you do it? How did you put so much business together? How did you change the whole retail world? And he said, we did it because we're all working together. And this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing us working together. All different aspects of the city coming together. The multicultural event. Everybody coming together, working together. It just seems like we're headed in the right direction. I want to thank you all for what you do, and please continue in that manner. That's my time.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Pepperton.
Yeah, in a sense of words, I just want to echo what Bruce has said. He made every single point that any of us could make. The city is alive and well and moving in the best direction it could. I think the city should be proud of what we're doing, and we're very proud of our city. And as I said before, I think we're moving in the right direction. To Natalie, I want to thank you for the message that you gave today. It hit home. And sometimes when you're in here and doing this job, negative thoughts do hit you, and they start to affect your attitude and stuff like that. And I was so glad that you brought that up this evening, because it causes me to check where I am and where my thoughts are, and I appreciate that. And with that, Mayor, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Commissioner Udalvis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations to the newly sworn-in officers of the Millville Police Department, as well as the volunteers of Millville Code Blue for receiving the Making a Difference recognition. Reiterating the public relations initiative to recognize our local volunteers, I remind all citizens of Millville to review the nomination form available at City Hall or at the city website, and join the commission in its goal to recognize the programs and individuals who serve our community. And with that, Mr. Mayor, progress.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Mayor?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, a couple of things. First of all, people keep asking how come I do so many resolutions and ordinances on this. You know, I certified funds and all that stuff. A lot of this is the mayor's, or some of it's the mayor's. The mayor doesn't make a resolution, or he doesn't move on a resolution. He doesn't receive and file something. I do that on behalf of the mayor. So I have to do all the mayor's things that he has within his department. You know, so I'm the guy that drinks a lot of water and has to do this, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're the best, Mayor. Believe me, I don't mind doing it. Another thing that kind of, I think I have to go there, okay? And I don't mind going places that some people don't like. That's the way I am. When somebody says something I don't agree with, I'm going to tell them I don't agree with it. That has to do with Labor Council and our city solicitor in reference to their bill, what they bill each year, okay? Probably this year, our city solicitor will probably make close to $200,000. Our labor attorney is going to exceed his fee. But our labor attorney also inherited union business contracts that the prior commissioner did not settle. We inherited that. So therefore, there's an added cost. And we're happy to say that we've, so far, Labor Council has taken care of 2 of those unions, and we have 1 more to go. That fee will only come up every 3 or 4 years when you settle negotiations, okay? With our solicitor, Mr. Schroeder, for instance, Mr. Schroeder probably will come close to $200,000 in fees this year, and it's earned. And the reason I say this tonight, because, you know, I go back. I go back in the 1990s, early 1990s. Bill Forrester was our city solicitor. Mr. Forrester's bills were right around $200,000 a year, okay, because they have a flat rate, the things that they do for the city, then it's $140 or $150 per hour to do other business that the city needs solicitors to work with. And that could be a number of things, personnel matters, you know, you name it. When I looked at, in the past, I saw Rich McCarthy, who was an outstanding solicitor. This room's named after my good friend Rich McCarthy. His charges were right around $200,000 a year. That's a fact, folks. This isn't something new that Mr. Schroeder or, billing us on things. And Mr. McCarthy did that. Following Mr. McCarthy was Jacob and Shirello. $200,000 a year. That's what their fees were running our city. My good friend, Brock Russell, and Brock Russell is a very good friend of mine, our last city solicitor. His first year, $220,000. When he left office here, his income was anywhere between $700,000 and $800,000, and nobody cared. Nobody cared about it. Nobody opened a request at all. Nobody challenged it at all. But I assure you, everything that Brock Russell did and billed, he earned. There's no question in my mind. I would never question his bills. It's earned. It's a lot of responsibility that the municipal attorneys are faced with today in government. And it costs us money. We've had the opportunity to sit down with both city solicitor and labor counsel in closed session to see if there's ways that we can possibly save some money on legal bills. We cannot prevent an employee to pick the phone up and call the solicitor. When they do that, there's a charge. If our municipal clerk has to call legal counsel for an opinion, and rightfully so, especially with OPA requests, there's a charge for that. It's not unusual because that's how all municipal attorneys operate. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but we're in government and you have to have an attorney, and I don't care what municipality you go to, that's the fees. That's the fees. People are making this look like this is the worst thing since day old bread, how horrible we are, how bad our city solicitor is because he's doing that. Let me tell you something. This man took on other responsibilities when he came in this office. Economic development. Economic development. He stepped up for that, okay? He stepped up to doing that, and we appreciate that, to do those things. And this thing went on and on. The people who are complaining about the fees, you find it on social media or wherever, some of them are the same people that's costing an increase in legal fees. The same people. They've taken us to Superior Court. Everybody know that? Oh, yeah, they took this whole group right to Superior Court. Filed all kinds of charges against us. It cost the taxpayers thousands of dollars to do that. The same people who are complaining about the increase in legal fees. Yeah, you can't win. You can't win. We'll continue to monitor those things and keep our eyes abreast of it. And constantly try to do what we can to try to work something out when another contract comes up. Right now, we have contracts with both, our city solicitor, and we have a contract with labor counsel. They'll all be reviewed at the end of the year. We hope that, things will work out. But I think it's important to let the public know exactly what it is. What it is. There's two sides to a coin. But people are just saying this is the worst thing that's ever happened to the city. No, it isn't. It's been that way. That's what it costs to do business. And every municipality in the state of New Jersey that I'm aware of are all faced with the same challenges. It costs money. You need legal counsel to do it. To do it, folks. And we'll continue to work it. I appreciate what our city solicitor's doing out there. And I appreciate, when other commissioners have a different of opinion. I just have to put the facts out there as they are. And I will continue doing that. When they come out and say this is the worst thing that's ever happened, it's totally political, and all these things that they come up with, and I think the Superior Court judge made that perfectly clear when they took us to court, not only us to file charges, they took our city administrator and called our city administrator a crook. Our chief financial officer, corrupt. Our municipal clerk, who they hired, was corrupt. I'm just letting you guys know what we're dealing with up here, okay? And they complain because of legal fees. How can you call our city administrative people like that, the people that they worked with for 4 years, that worked day and night for those guys, and they turn around and call them corrupt? You can call us whatever you want. That goes with the territory. I wear big pants, okay? I can take the hits. Don't bother me. But to come after your professional staff it was a low part of their life. I can tell you that right now, because they thought it was funny. When they got that papers from the Superior Court, you ask any of those three ladies how they felt that they worked with, calling them corrupt. Calling them corrupt. These are prior former commissioners that are doing that. So, look, guys, when I see something, I'm going to tell you the facts, folks. You started, I'll talk about it. That's just the way I am. So I'm sorry that I take time. But I think the public who are watching on TV know that explanation. This is what it is. So I hope the people in this audience understand that. You can call us anytime, okay? Call us anytime. So I just want to let you know that our solicitor, I appreciate what you do. You do an outstanding job. You do a lot of things you don't bill for also. I know that for a fact, okay? So with that, I want to leave it on a high note. People don't like what I have to say, then don't say things that upset me, okay?
Mayor, off of that, may I say just a couple of things?
Thank you.
It has been, they want me to turn that on and bring it up. It has been a wonderful 7 months of being here. I'm a young man, but not as young as I was when I got here in January. It has been, it's been a lot of work, and I understand. I was an elected official. I was actually appointed as a councilman and had served, and I've sat in that seat, and I know those tough decisions. So I'm sensitive to that. I'm sensitive to the price of things. We all have budgets to go ahead and deal with, and I have to deal with that in all of my towns. I make no excuse for my bills because I believe you get value for every dollar that you get from me. I know that when I go to bed at night that you get $1, more than $1, for $1 that's billed, and you get more time than what you're billed for. One of the things that I took a lot of heat for when I first came was, who is this guy? He's not from Millville. He's not from Millville. And, I'm sensitive to that. I mean, I come from a small parochial town as well. But one of the things that I've appreciated about this commission is you understand that for Millville to gain momentum, for it to rise, you need to have outside investment. You need to welcome people in from the outside to partner with you and do that. I wasn't born in Millville. Some would say you're not from Millville unless your father and mother were born in Millville, and that's a fair statement as well. But I chose Millville when I was 19 years old. Second Methodist Millville was the first church that I ever served as an assistant junior youth group leader on my way into my career in ministry, my first career in ministry. And ever since then, I've enjoyed being in Millville. I've enjoyed helping people one-on-one, working with organizations in Millville, and just being here. And Jim's Lunch. I've always enjoyed coming for Jim's Lunch and for other things. I'm a big baseball fan. We all know that this is the mecca for baseball in South Jersey. So that was a choice that I made. The first decision that I made from a business standpoint after you hired me was to hire a young man who was a third grader when I came to Second Methodist, who grew up in the Third Ward across from the church. He works and serves you well, I believe, here in City Hall. He has a sensitivity and understanding as to what Millville is about. That's something that I admit I don't have because I didn't grow up here. And it's a joy to have him working, and it's a joy for him to get to come to work every day and bless the people of this city. You've made an investment in legal. It's an important investment. Above all of your responsibilities, your number one duty is to protect the legal entity, the city. That's what you do. Above and overall anything else, that's what your job is. And you've made an incredible investment, not just in legal, but as we talked about, in economic development. For the first of all, you don't have an economic development attorney this year. That's a line item that is completely gone. And that was quite a bit of money. If somebody wanted to look that up, I'll let somebody else do that. So I've assumed that mantle this year. The second thing was, and we talked about this at the work meeting, is that you had to hire Sam Silvers back from where she was.
for the first 3-4 months of this year, you didn't have anybody in-house running. So it was my responsibility to answer all those calls, keep those developers, those outsiders that are interested in bringing money, tax revenue, jobs, development, new ideas to Millville, was to hold them and try and inch them along until we got the team that you chose in place. Now that it's in place, we're really moving, and it's really popping. And I know that in the next 3 or 4 months, we're going to see, just like a farmer that sows a seed and wonders all summer whether the crop is going to come in, I predict a good harvest this fall. And it's going to be jobs, and it's going to be tax revenue, and it's going to be development. It's a wonderful problem to have, to be looking right now to try and find enough acres to put the people that want to invest in your city. That's something that couldn't be said about Millville for a long time and can't be said about this region for a long time. And you are now leading the way in some great ways. And yet, there's some moments, and it's tough for somebody that really does care about what they do and cares about their reputation. But it is a joy to serve the 30,000 that care and that are trying to live their lives in this city and just do the best they can for their neighbor and to stand with them and to stand with this commission. I appreciate all 5 of you, all 5 of you.
Thank you, Solicitor. Anything else, Mr. Mayor?
I'm done, Mayor. Pretty ready.
Done. Well, I want to just go back and reflect on, as you know, we were off for 2 weeks. Did we all enjoy that or what? No? Yes?
I was busy.
You were busy, but we were off 2 weeks. And, but it was enjoyable. But a lot of things happened. I know going back to mid-July, we had the raising of the Puerto Rican flag here right out front City Hall. There was a large Puerto Rican parade and festival in the city of Vineland. And I have to give a lot of credit to Leonidas Negron, who does a great job, not only for the city of Vineland, but for the county of Cumberland with the Latin community. We raised flags in Bridgeton, Vineland, and also in Millville, and it's something that's been going on for years since Mayor Shannon was here, and the tradition continues. I got to go back to Sam Silvers and Heather Santoro, because that is the foundation of how we're going to continue to move this city forward. When you have a government person and an outsider, that's important for us, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to reconnect with those talented people, those nonprofits within this city, so that we can move forward. And I think all of us as commissioners, that was one of our main goals. Yes, let's get that together and move on, and I'm so excited about what's happening and what's going to continue to happen. One of the things that I had an opportunity to go to, and I believe Commissioner, all of us were, I think we were all there, and that was the Volley for Life at Lakeside Middle School. We have 2 young men from our city, J.T. Burks and Kawan Buleg, who take these young men and young girls, and they did flag football, they do the football program. It was such a beautiful Saturday afternoon that we had so many people out there. I even had to shoot, for the first time, a live video with Pastor Steve. I never did one before. And he was showing me how to do it. And we had a live video there, and it was so much fun. But it wasn't just about volleyball, because they had the fire department there. They had the police department there. They had health officials there. They were there about positive things within the city of Millville. When you see our firemen, our police officers, health department, Mary Messick, I can't, to say everybody was there, I know I'm going to miss somebody's name, but it was such a great atmosphere for these young kids. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of dancing kids in this city that can dance, if I can say it, their butt off. I mean, they were dancing. It was amazing what I saw there. Commissioner Udalvis and I had an opportunity last Friday to go to our Arts Awards on North High Street. Marianne Lowe's, Diane Roberts. You know, for the last 4 years, we've been giving awards to young kids from first grade up to teenagers. And we handed out, I know I signed at least 60 to 70 certificates that Commissioner Udalvis and I attended and gave out. And the best thing about it is, it wasn't just Millville. You're talking about people from Vineland, Bridgeton, and all the townships that come to that program that the Arts District does for our kids. And they were so excited. It was so much fun to see the family there, The best part is when you have your little 7-year-old sister and you see the 12-year-old brother taking pictures of his sister. Man, if that's not family, what is? Man, I love it. Because you know I grew up with 5 sisters. And I was the youngest. And you know what happened to me? You know? I wasn't taking pictures of them, I'm sure. But to see that, it was just an amazing atmosphere. And I'm so glad that we were invited to it. Don't forget Play Street tomorrow. Okay? Pine Street, between 2nd and 3rd Street. I believe it's from 11 to 2 p.m. 10. All right, get there. Check it out. See what these young kids are doing. See what the city of Millville's doing. See what our nonprofits are doing for these young people. And I want to leave on a high note. Today's Mike Trout's birthday. Does everybody know that?
Yep.
Let's give him a hand of applause. Give him a round of applause. It's Mike's birthday. And I had the opportunity to coach Mike, play alongside with his dad, and what an outstanding kid. But as you know, I of course follow Major League Baseball and sports. He got a really, really, I don't know how to say it. I want to say it so it doesn't come out wrong. But the president of Major League Baseball said that Mike Trout wasn't doing enough for our youth. What a bunch of BS that was. I'm serious. That was just so out of order by the president. Let me tell you something. Personally, I've known for the last 5 years, I can pick up the phone, I have his cell number, and I'm not giving it out, and call Mike and ask him to do something, and he's done it. So for this president to do that to our guy, our kid from Millville, our young man from Millville, was just unbelievable. And I'm so proud of all the people throughout the United States for standing up for Mike Trout, because they know what the kid's about, young man's about. He's all about kids. He supports a lot of different programs that we don't know about within the city. And I had to say that because today is his birthday. Mike, I hope you see this video someday. But all of us here wish you a happy birthday and keep doing what you're doing, because you're an outstanding citizen, not only for us in Millville, but for all the youth in the United States of America. So with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Thank you for coming out, folks. This meeting's adjourned.